Hello and welcome back once again to another LOTRO Secrets video, and today we are doing The Adventures of Floid and Dewitt Part 2. So this time we have another list of 7 locations to go find these guys. I've scattered around Middle-earth. Some of them are lower level regions, some of them are higher level regions. So I think the lowest level one is the one where we're currently at in the Troll Shores, so round about level 35ish, and the highest one is Woodmoor, so that's going to be a level 75ish area, so you'll need at least a level 75 character to do this. You will get 300 marks for completing it, as well as the title The Vagabond. So starting off then, we are in the Troll Shores. So if I just reactivate my UI, so we are in the High Moor, just on the east side of the Ford of Breenan. We are on pretty much the highest point of the hill, so if you're coming, you probably want to come from Rivendell right up across the High Moor. Potentially you could also come from the other sides, from Thorenhad, but you want to be on like the highest point of the hill, which is literally just up there. The reviving circle is literally just behind this rock up there. You want to head to the northwest and you'll see this great big rock here, and if you just come around here, taking a lot of care not to fall off, because it's pretty much a fatal drop down there if you miss. And the guys are just over here. So for part 2 of the deed, he's still swigging away at his bottomless pint of ale. There he goes. So that's one. So as soon as we activate one of these locations, we will get it in our quest log and we can go around and complete them. And it will actually tell us which regions they're in, although obviously again not much else to go based on those. So the next one that we can do from here is the Misty Mountains. So I'll meet you guys at that location. Okay, so we're back once again, and this time we're in the Misty Mountains. We're in the Northern High Pass on the eastern side. So there's 2 ways you can get to this one. You can either go from the camp that's on top of the hill at Vinderhau, and there's a path slightly to the west of that goes around the edges of the mountains and ends up going behind the Goblin camp. Alternatively, you can get over to the Hrimbarg Stablemaster, ride north, to more or less where this campsite icon is on the map. That's where the main entrance to Goblin Town is. But instead of going that way, if you go up the massive ramp to the right hand side of that and climb the mountain, and both ends of this path joins up. It's just a long winding path around the mountains. But eventually you'll reach a place halfway round where you're at this ledge, which is kind of overlooking the Goblin Town camp. So you pretty much reached the highest point of this path, which is kind of over there. At this point you're starting to go downhill. There's like a massive chasm over there. The Black Crack, which is the back entrance into Goblin Town, is just slightly further down to our east down there. But you want to find this platform over here. There's kind of like a couple of rocks and bushes. We've got the nice view down there of the Goblin Town camp, and over to our left there's a collection of 3 rocks and some bushes. So if you go behind these 3 rocks, you will see that there is another little ledge that we can go around there. So it's probably best if you did do that on a horse, just make sure you can get a bit further around on your jump. There's also a treasure cache around here as well, so let's grab that since I can pick that up. You're not going to be able to pick that up on lower level characters. That's just something for higher level characters to do in old regions. So we come around here, and are they behind the rocks? Sneak around here, or have I got myself lost? Because that's the ledge we came up. I'm probably looking in the completely wrong area. I think I want to go possibly down there. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think we have to jump downstairs, and I'm pretty sure it's this one. We're kind of like going down where this little tree is. We need to horsey jump that just to make sure we can get the distance for it. So, running jump, success. Okay, so if you run along here, I'm guessing it should be up here by these rocks. There we go. There he is. So he's got a nice view. This one's a bit of a pain in the backside to get. You're not going to find this one by accident unless you're like trying to fall off the edges of the map. But I wasn't sure if it was possible to sneak up a different way. I don't know if you can get up around this side. Probably not, because I think this is somewhere else entirely. Yeah, so that's that one. So next up, the next one in level order is going to be Forakel. Okay, so we're in Forakel now then, and we are just to the north of Zigmund on the western side. So your best way to get here is probably to get a horse over to Surikila, which you can swift from, like, say, Westbury or various other locations, and then swift over to Zigmund, and then pretty much ride north. This one's a bit of a tricky one to get to, so where you need to go first is about where I am now, so that's 14.7 north and 81.8 west, which you can just see on the top right there. So we're kind of like, we've just gone past the bit where there's loads of mountains and we're heading down sort of towards the lake, but there is like this rocky outcropping just to the west of me, and we basically need to get on top of this. Once we're on top of this, we keep riding south, taking care not to fall off either side of this, and you can see on the map we're on like a very narrow kind of mountain range, and they should be somewhere near the top. So there they are. That will tick off that one. They're just admiring the views in the tundra. I don't know if he's really dressed appropriately for the weather. He's in a short sleeve top and all that. The horse doesn't seem to care, but anyway. So that's 3. There's 4 left to go. The next one is going to be in Eregion. Okay, so we're now back in Eregion, and we're basically on the road up to the Redhorn Pass. So you can pretty much follow this road up from the western side. The easiest way to get here would probably be to come via either Echad Dunnan or Echad Eregion, both of which you can swift travel from Rivendell. And your options are either literally follow this road up, or you can come pretty much past the Orc camp down here, Tar Stags, and then go north to get onto the hill roughly around here on this last bend. Pretty much ride straight up the hill, which is just down there, and once it starts getting into the snowy area, you're going to come up here and around this bend, and just before it starts dipping down again, you can climb on top of this hill here, and they're just overlooking that nice valley to the south over there, where you can see Tarstaz in the distance over there, and the non-snowy hill that you can climb up over there. That's the road on the way up. So there we go, that's 4 of the locations. So next we are heading for the Great River. Okay, so in the Great River then, the best place to go here is to go to Stangard, which is the capital of the region. Then you basically want to head out either the east gate or the west gate is fine, but you basically want to come over to the map marker called Aster Hill, which is where we're at now. It's a big hill in the Wailing Hills section. You could also, if you were lazy, get a horse over to the Limelight River and go north from there. That's another possibility. But basically, this map marker, this point of interest, you will probably trigger if you're anywhere near this hill. But it's the big, crazy ass hill with this massive rock sticking out of it. So you want to climb all the way up the very top of it to where the rock is, and then on the southern side of this, just heading east from the point of interest flag, we can come across here, and you can see them just poking their noses around here on this ledge. So there we go, they're admiring the view to the south. That's number 5. And next up then, it's East Rohan. Okay, so next then, in East Rohan, we need to go to the east wall section of the map, which is over here. Then we need to be pretty much to the northeast most part of this. So we're right next to the Argonath, just to the east of Mansig's encampment. Easiest way to get here would be to go to Snowbourne in East Rohan, get a swift over to Path Galen, get a swift up to Mansig's encampment, and then ride the rest of the way. But there's the Argonath just over in the distance over there. We're going to go up into this Orc camp, which is just on the northern side of that beach where you land as part of the epic quest. And coming up into here, these guys aren't going to fight me because I'm too high level. But at the back of the camp, which should be behind this big tent over here, we should be able to find an overhang where these guys are hiding. Might be around the other side. So go around the left hand side of the tent. We can see a wall. They are on the other side of this wall. How does one get around the back? Oh, maybe we can walk around that way. I was in the right place all along. So back around the right hand side. Do we just drop down? No, we don't have to drop down. We literally just ride around here. There we go. And they're perched rather precariously on this little rock here, looking south, and there we go. Having a lovely view there of the Argonath. So then there's one more to go then, and that is in the Woodmoor region. Okay, so we're in the Woodmoor region now then. So the best way to get to this one would be to swift travel to Forlor, which is the capital of this region, just on the south side of that lake. And then get a swift travel over to Skilfig, which is the town on the northeastern side of the map. And basically we want to head westwards along the road, all the way along the northern shore of this lake. Just stay on the road, keep going west until you get to where we are now, which is just after we've passed underneath this kind of like rocky bridge that goes across the road there. So we just go up here, we just pass this rock that's on the left hand side, and we will see down below us there is like a frozen waterfall just down there. Now I just want to double check before I jump off. I think it should be the lower half of this waterfall. If it's that one, we might be screwed and have to go back. But he should be, there we go, just overlooking the waterfalls there. So there we go, we found him. That's the 7th and final one that we needed to have a look at. So again, once again, we get 300 marks for completing that, and the title, The Vagabond. Hope you guys have enjoyed that, and if you want to see more of these, stay tuned and see you next time.